And welcome back to Music Free Gaming. I hope you're having a fabulous day. It is Tuesday. It is beautiful and wonderful and all sorts of other things. And you are beautiful and wonderful and all sorts of other things too. Hey, it's great to be back. And we're going to be back in Minecraft today. Terraria is fun, but Minecraft is where it's at for today. So, we're here in the science lab. Made some progress last time, which is great. Still have some stuff to fill in up top. We'll deal with that at another time. Today, I want to start figuring out where I'm going to be putting the various undead critters that are going to be living and being studied in the science lab. So, we've got a couple of options. There's definitely a lot of open space here, right? That we could put stuff here. But honestly, I kind of made a mistake, all right? It happens. I know. There are a lot of you out there thinking, no, dude, you can't make mistakes. You're a streamer. That's not how this works. It's 100% how this works. I designed this with this beautiful open, look at all the space and the pillars and stuff. What can I put in here that's not going to screw up the space? So we're going to have to think about that and possibly some other options. So I'm thinking of a couple of things, all right? So there's definitely maybe something we can do here. It's all covered with glass mostly, except right in the middle, which is on top of this tower, so that's fine. So we can do some good things there. But I think what I might do is take advantage of this space down here and turn this, turn all of this into the science lab area, which I think is it's gonna work. So basically, we would come up here. Here's the science lab, all science labby and stuff. And then up top, we'd have some form of something else up here. I don't know what. Maybe I'm just going to leave it open. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we'll totally see. I don't know what it's going to look like. We will figure that out together. But today it's all about dealing with the joys of the undead. So let's figure this out. So we've got ourselves some stairs here. Honestly, I guess those are okay. I might put in upside down stairs there just to make that a little happier. And there's some walls that need to happen here. That's a problem for future me. Current me has a couple of issues. One is, what the heck is going to happen over here? Like, do I want something? I mean, I could put some form of something here between the different staircases. Okay. Sorry, I just had to double check the minecarts. Right, so that's definitely a thing. I want to bring in the same tower design, at least around the bubble columns here for the happy little squid guys, right? So when the guardians go up, right, we're going to keep this action going, all right? Now, this is going to stay, obviously, because this is the collection system for pretty much everything that's happening here, but mostly the guardian farm and the wheat farm. Right, so that's going to be a thing, so that's going to stick around. The beacon is going to go away. It's already useless, so we'll tear that down. I don't know where I left the shulker box for all of its bits and pieces, but hey, that's okay. So this is going to go away. We do have some space back here that needs to sort of do its thing, right? This is the drop chamber for the wheat. Going this way over there. I think I'm going to possibly have a similar one on the other side. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do in the other corners. Right. We'll have a water channel here. It's not, doesn't exist, but the gap is there. I think the same thing's going to happen over on this side. I said, I don't know if I'm going to have other farms in place, but I want to have the infrastructure here. I just want to have that built into the design in case I do decide to put other farms or something in the other 2 pillars. 3 pillars. The 3 boxy shaped things out here, right? Jeez, I'm inside. Yeah, that needs to go down to the ocean floor. But if I decide to fill that with some sort of farm, I'm actually thinking a honey farm might be really good. Then we'll need to get all of those items, into the storage system. So that, I think, is going to be a plan. But that's a problem for future me. We're just getting a lot of those today. There are so many problems for future me. Future me is just one big problem waiting to happen. Okay? So, let's try to solve at least one of these problems. And probably many more of them. Where are we going to store undead critters? Okay? Now, do I have a sign on me? I don't. So I do have sign making materials, though. Let's do something about that. Yeah, these signs are fine. Okay. So basically, we are going to have darkness. Oh, that's right. I haven't replaced the... Okay. It's dark here. All of this stone needs to get replaced with frog lights. Okay. Or actually, I think it's the blue glass behind it. But again, future me has many problems. That's just one of them. All right. So the undead that we're gonna store in here, we're going to bring in a zombie horse. Okay. A horse is a horse, of course. And we're going to get a zombie horse. So, hey, Snoopers. That quote is 100% accurate. That is totally accurate. How you doing? It's great to have you here. All right. So yes, we're going to bring in a zombie horse. We are also going to bring in a zombie camel. Okay. Because, boy, that camel. All right, Cammy the camel, apparently. So we're gonna bring in a zombie horse and a zombie camel. Okay. We'll have finally happy to make a stream. Yes, words. I can read words in the correct order. Happy to make a stream again, finally. I'm glad you're back. I've missed you. Okay, we're gonna bring in zombie villager. Okay. I have a thought that we might bring in a regular villager too. Okay, got some thoughts. You can't English? Hey, welcome to the club. Do we need multiple types of zombies? You can't remember how to sign into Twitch. Ooh. Well, I have the perfect thing for you. Here's the password manager for Sorry, I'm just being stupid. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. YouTube's where it's at. Okay, so, but zombie villager, regular villager, and maybe other zombies? I think they've got a password reset thing, right? I think there's a husk. Yeah, I think there's a husk Dealy Bob down down in the trial chamber. I think we've got husk spawners, so that might be helpful. Drowned might be a thing we could want to bring in here too. Okay. The other thing we could bring in would be skeletons. Now, I don't know if, I can't remember if the skeletons in the trial chamber are regular skeletons or rotting, festering skeletons of doom. I'm leaning the of doom variety. I think they actually are the stinky poisoned ones, which is, you know, stinky and stuff. Look, I don't make the rules. This is just how Mojang made them. They're just all stinky and covered in mushrooms, and they're not good. Nothing is good covered in mushrooms. Definitely not skeletons. Anyway, so the stinky skeletons might be good to bring up too. So now I think I might do a magic trick with the zombie villager and the regular villager. So they're gonna have to go someplace specific down here. If only because I'm going to need room. So if I duck down here for a minute, this place is pretty empty. I've got room. I can do redstone and stuff down over here. Over on this side, I've got a little bit of room, but mostly I've got the furnace array I've got to deal with. So we could make some things happen, but it would have to be in a very specific location. The rest of this area down here, okay. Oh, do I have iron? I don't have iron. How you doing? He's had better days. The rest of this area, we've got the furnace, right? The furnace loading system and the item stuff. There is a little bit of room over here, but not a lot. So if I want to do anything that's going to do like a mob swapper or something, that we're going to have to be real careful about where we put it. And the reason I'm thinking about that is I think it might be really cool. Okay, and this is a definite, absolute might happen. I have no idea if it's actually going to. But it might be kind of fun to have a regular horse and camel. Wow, I can type. As well as like the villager and zombie villager, and rig up some redstone to swap them around. Like you hit a button and your zombie horse now becomes a regular horse, right? Or your zombie villager becomes a regular villager, or vice versa. We are going to be conducting experiments on zombieism, and that might be a fun thing to have happening over here, okay? The skeletons are just jerks. They don't turn into anything. So they'd be probably better off around back this way where I can't do anything, right? There's no redstone that can happen here, right? I just have this trench for items potentially, okay? Okay, so that's great. Now, and again, I don't have really a lot of space under here, so if we're going to be putting in mobs and we're going to do a mob swapper dealy bob, it's going to have to happen over here. Okay. Okay. Where's my things? All right, so basically what I want to do I have... Oh, I have purple blocks. Oh, no, I've got some things in here. Nice. Oh, I need to think about healing up my pick here soon. So how did this work? Okay, so it's the glass and the stuff and things. Awesome. So the magenta glass goes in front of the blue glass. All right, so this goes like so. And then we have our happy ghast, who is obviously the happiest. Oops. The happiest of ghasts. All right, so that's going to go there. This is going to go here. And then we're going to do things. Okay. That will go there. We'll have glass. This is get cut out. Yeah, things will happen, but this is definitely the idea. Do I have some polished blackstone. I don't have any walls on me. That's okay. All right, so that's going to be a thing that happens here. Actually, can bring this down like so. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, I think I might actually have enough blocks to pull this off. Other than the fact I don't, it's perfect. All right. Yeah, so I've got some stuff to do with these pillars. We'll worry about that later. Okay. Oh. So what am I doing? I am doing something. It's going to be a thing full of some and thing. Okay, so if I bring this down like so. So we're going to try to figure out a little bit of base interior action here. So at least I know how the controls work here. Terraria, I get lost. That needs to go away. Okay, and I'm going to want to light this area up too. It's going to need to be brighter. As far as what's going on here, yeah, this is, like I said, this beacon is going to go away. Again, we'll worry about that in a little bit. So, I guess part of the question is, do I want to put something here or leave it open? Hey, we have a few hours to update your multi-MC. That's fair. Yeah, the updates are always painful. Okay, so that could be a thing. Theoretically, I could actually dig all of this out. Yeah, updating Minecraft, especially to get all the mods and stuff, that's always fun. And I don't know, does multi-MC have updates? I stopped using it because I've been using Prism, so yeah. And once you get updated, it's good for a couple of days. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I gotta turn on a fan. It's hot here. Okay, so... Alright, so I'm not too worried about the corner, though I could. So we've got this angle dealy bob here, so I could bring that down. Where would that be? Where, oh, where would that be? So that would be at... yeah, 8412 minus 5319. 8412, 5319. There. Okay, and then basically it just diagonals over this way. Okay. All right, so we're gonna have to take down the hack. Turns out pickaxes don't work nearly as well on stuff. Oh, need to keep that around. Yeah, it's so I've got a little twitchy around some things like torches because I've been doing the that skyblock world, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and torches are a little bit of a scarcity in that world because I keep forgetting to make charcoal to make torches. Okay, So if I do this, right? I think just for, this is the wrong block, but it's a temporary. I mean, that one's, yeah, it's wrong, but temporarily, see, that would go that way. I kind of like the idea of keeping that there. Okay, and then we'll have some stuff that happens, obviously, here, but it's not going to go out beyond our pillar here. So, I guess that's going to be a thing. All right. So, if I put observation chambers, we're not going to call them prisons or cells or something. We'll call them observation chambers. In fact, I could even bring this forward, which might help things out quite a bit, now that I think about it. If we put in our observation chambers here-ish, where I can then swap some things around, that might be fun. The catch is, the villagers will be easy because they're small. The horse and camel, they could be somewhat problematic. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I could put the zombie villagers over here if I did the swapper system on this side. I've got some room, probably enough. Okay. I kind of like this idea. All right, so hang on. I got to dump stuff in my inventory. I gotta dump all the stuff in the things because my inventory is a hot mess. I'll leave the dirt. I might actually need to use it a little bit. All right, just for the marking of things. Anyway, so trying to figure this out. Oh, don't know what I'm doing, which is not unusual. Oh, right, signs. That's what I was doing. Right, so if I put the villager, okay. Right. If we put the zombie villager here-ish, right? And then I could maybe put the camel here. Camel. And the horse on this side. That seems... I think that'll actually make some sense. There'll be some larger areas, but maybe we'll be okay. The catch is, if I'm going to have a mob swapper, I'm going to have to... How am I going to have to do this? I guess there are a couple of ways I could do this. It's the cheesy, stupid way, which it will be really easy, but I think I would not do it, would just be to open a thing underneath the camel, have it drop down, and then pop the zombie camel up on this side. It would work, but it's not going to be nearly as fun. So what I would need to do is, or what I want to happen is to drop the camel and then have the zombie drop in right where the camel was. Okay? Right? I think that would be fun. And then when I hit a button again, the zombie goes away and the regular camel drops in. Actually, I think I could do that Might be able to do that fairly easily if I'm careful. So, camels are what? 2 blocks tall? Same with horses. Are they 2 blocks tall? I gotta look. Hang on. We must wiki. Let's see. So a horse height is 1.6. Okay, that's great. And then a camel height. Oh, right. Camels are tall. Right. Camels are 2.3 blocks. Right. Okay. Okay. As they say. Which means I would need it 3 blocks of... I would need 3 blocks of space for the camel to fit. I mean, kind of doable, but... Ooh, that's going to be... That's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight. Now, what's on the other side of this wall? Ocean. Perfect. Okay, probably the same on this side. This side's a little bit better. There's less ocean here. Okay. Yeah, this is more ocean. Sweet. Well, if we dig into the ocean, we can then terraform around it, which I have not even thought about underwater terraforming. That's a thought that scares my little anti-terraforming brain. Right, so this would be kind of something like so. Right, if we're at this line and this line, I would need angles of something like this. Right. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. These 5 blocks. These go there. Are actually oh, these go there. Right? Right? No. No. Look, I don't know how any of this is going to work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay. So if I decide I want to keep that angle, it wouldn't be directly under the pillar above, but it would continue that language down here. And then I can line everything up in sort of magical ways, right? Okay. So I might be able to then rig some fun stuff over here. Okay. Actually, this would give us a lot of room back here if I were to do that. Right? So if I were to block this off, I could use all of this space to move camels and or horses and swap them out over here. That's definitely an idea. Okay. So the trick is then going to be getting all of the stuff out of the way. Which, great, I've got some space here. Not a huge amount, but I've got some. And again, I've got all of this ocean out here. I know you can't see it. There's all of this ocean out here that, again, we could potentially use and terraform, you know, grab this drowned and do stuff with it. I don't know. There's stuff and things we can do. But, hey, HRS, welcome in. Glad you could be back. And don't worry about being late. You know, life does things. I'm just trying to figure out where the heck I'm going to be putting some zombie and like a zombie horse and a zombie camel and a zombie villager in such a way that I can then swap them out at like a magic trick. It'll be fun. All right. So basically, if I were to run a wall this way, like a thing. I don't know if I want to run all the way up here or what. A museum with magic tricks, kind of. It's actually a science lab, which is like magic. Science is absolutely like magic, just less pretentious, maybe. I don't know. Maybe more so. I don't know. Scientists are weird, but also cool, but dangerous people. So yeah. Just unexplained, exactly. Yeah, so here, I'm going to sleep. It's dark out. Doesn't matter because I'm all inside and stuff, but yeah, so we've got the science lab. If you haven't seen it from the outside, it kind of, oh, well, I was going to say it kind of looks like that, but I now have a roof on and it screws up the map. It kind of looks like this. Okay, I've got some filling in I need to do and stuff, but still a lot of exterior work needs to happen here. Yep. Barbie's Dream Science Lab. We got it going. But I think, said the idea, I want to be able to pull the mobs out of here. I know how this is going to work. It's just going to be really interesting to try to pull off. And we're definitely going to be using the outside of the area here. Okay, so, but the trick is we pull the camel. All right, we're going to pull the floor out from under the camel. It'll drop into a water stream or something to wash it over this way, and then we'll bring it up and over. Started doing projects with large builds like mine. It's over your pay grade. It's over my pay grade. I don't typically do large builds like this. Okay, my builds tend to be smaller. This one got out of hand. I suffer from accidental mega base. It happens. But if we pull the floor out this way, the camel would drop. We could wash it up here. Bring it up to a holding area. And we have to put the floor back and drop the other one down. I think I can make this work. I think so. It's going to be a little bit... It's going to be a little bit funky. But we'll do a thing. You're just trying to build a villager city before you're allowed to do villager trades. Base is 4 cylinders intersecting each other. Ooh, nice. That sounds like fun. Okay. So basically, I'm going to need so many blocks. Okay. Basically, what I want to do then is we'll use flying machines to pull the floor out. And we're only going to have to go like 4 blocks, so that shouldn't be too bad. So we'll whoosh those out and then push it back. Okay. And actually, I might even make it a little bit smaller. Because remember, I don't have it on this side, but over on the other side, I've got that trench for item drops and stuff. Might do a thing. Let's see, the middle cylinder is a bit larger, 30 block radius. Oh, nice. The shape took over a month. Okay. Yeah, boy, you should... I rarely have patience for large builds, so Yeah, I get that. Okay. Maybe I'll go that big. Doesn't matter. The flying machine should be fine. So we build up the wall here. Right? So our camel will be pacing back and forth back here, doing its, camel-y whatever. I think we'll actually not have these blocks here. These ones, I think most of this will get replaced by glass. But that's definitely a thing. We could do something there. Slime block launchers or water streams? I think I'm going to use water streams because I think that's going to be the easiest way to get them up and moving. On the other hand, once I get them here, actually, if I make this the holding area, a slime block launcher up through scaffolding, because remember, scaffolding doesn't exist at the bottom, it only exists on the top. So you could launch a mob through scaffolding. That actually might make sense. We would then hold our replacement down underground here, down at this level. That's actually an excellent idea, H. It's an excellent idea. So yeah, so we drop them down, water stream them over onto a launch pad. Yeah, they can't go down scaffolding, correct. So if I wash them through onto a slime block launcher, and then when I'm ready, launch them up. The question is, how high could I launch them? Because I'm basically going to have to push them up, said at that height. So I'm going to have to push them up to there. Not one block lower. Because I really don't want the camel head poking through the floor above. Yes. Yeah, you're not wrong. We're definitely going to need test subjects. Okay. Well, yeah, test subjects are going to be great. Getting them down here is going to be its own special breed of fun. I'll tell you that right now. All right. The good news is we can... They don't have to be willing. Well, that goes without saying. So we're going to have a couple of things. I'm going to have to sort some stuff out. Where's my axe? Okay, so if I plop them down here. Okay. They're going to have to drop. They're going to have to drop down about 3 blocks. At least 3 blocks. Possibly 4. So that they can get into the slime block launcher. Okay. And I need to get them into the slime block launcher in a way that they're not going to get out again. So this means we're going to have to get scaffolding. Is what we're going to have to do. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking originally. Is I'd wash them over here, and then into a bubble column, where they would just sort of wait up here, and then I would pull down a block or something and let them wash over this way. The one problem I've got with that, actually with this whole system, is I don't want them taking damage. And I think it's just a long enough fall. Right, so hang on. So if they fall down off this, well, maybe it's not. Take off my shoes for a minute. Actually, that might be okay. Might be safe. Honey around the slime block launcher? Yeah. I just have to be sure they're centered on the launcher so that when it fires, they go. I just figured out what the perfect thing to use here. I can't use it. I won't be able to use it for 6 months. Or, well, actually probably 3 months. 2 months, maybe? The geysers. The geysers are the perfect thing to use here. Because I can 100% control geysers. Right? They would flow down. They'd be sitting... The zombies would be sitting in water. The horses and the camels, the live critters, would float. But none of that matters. Because if they're underwater, it would matter. I don't know. I have to see how high do the geysers push. Because that could be an issue. Geyser. All right, so the geyser... I would need 2 blocks of water. Yeah, they made it controllable with lava. Yeah, if you put a lava source underneath the sulfur block, right? The magic sulfur thing, right? I would need 2 blocks of water to shoot them up 10 blocks high. With only 1 block of water, they go up 5 blocks, and 5 blocks is not going to be enough. So I definitely would need it to be a 2 block high water. So the horses and camels will swim. I'm just worried about what happens if you're in the water. I haven't tested any of this. I have not played with the geysers at all. But that would be the thing. If the geysers, when they're underwater... yeah, height is dependent on the number of water source blocks above that. Yeah. So I'm looking at the wiki. If you've got 1 block above the just a one source block, it will launch them 5 blocks high, and if it's 2, it'll launch them 10 blocks high, and then 15 and 20. Static wind charges. The problem is wind charges will damage the mobs, and eventually it will kill them, and I can't have that. That would be bad. But that would be significantly easier. So if we pull out the flying machine, I might even be able to get away with a bunch of double piston extenders if I can remember how they work upside down. Right, we pull the floor out. They drop down. Okay, that's what I was doing down here. Scaffolding. Ha 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 ha. Today we scaffold. All right, so basically they would have to come back because camels are 3 blocks high, so my floor would have to be about that level. Okay. They're required to be restocked or use live wind charts. Yeah. And restocking them's not bad. It's just, I don't want to. Heck, I didn't really want to... I have wind charges as my main elevator to get up to the next level up here. And so I have a wind charge farm, but... You know, it's like... Do I really want to do that? Now, I've said there's a trial chamber, like, not almost directly underneath the base here, so getting wind charges isn't bad. Especially if I have potions of make everything worse. Okay, so I swear somebody has that at work, and one of these days they keep drinking the potion of make everything worse, and it turns out it works. Okay, so make everything fun. Yeah, that's right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, I would definitely need the 2 high water column, right? But camels and horses both swim. Said it's just what's going to happen with the ones that are because the zombies will sink. And so what I don't know is if the geyser. I don't know if the geyser will push them if they're underwater. It doesn't matter. Geysers can push up through a block. Hang on, back to the wiki. Hello, wiki. Geyser, because I don't know if it might just be scaffolding. Yeah, bubble vaders would work too. The nice thing about this is basically I'm seeing this happen in 2 or 3 steps, but they're fairly straightforward. So I've got 2 things that need to happen. I need to launch my mob that's in holding up here. I wasn't removed. So what they removed from the geysers, I don't have a snapshot that I can jump in and take a look. So we're kind of stuck theorizing, but they took it out so that it won't push through. It won't push through copper grates anymore. That was one of the things that they did do when they first dropped. But I think they still go through scaffolding. And if that's the case, I could store my mob on the scaffolding. I just have to put a block up so that they don't walk back. Actually, take this back. According to the wiki, when placed above lava or magma block, the water source potent sulfur will erupt into a geyser, either continuously or periodically, right? When a potent sulfur block is erupting, particles forming a geyser appear at the surface of the water and push any entities within it, including underwater, upwards. Okay, that solves the problem. So let's see. The Chaos Cubed update drops on the 16th, which I just upgraded this world like 2 weeks ago. Okay, to the tiny takeover. It's gonna be a month. Oh, jeez. Okay. Because I do have some mods on here that have to get updated, but I like this idea though. So basically, we pull out the floor. Okay, so let's see. Here's how it would have to work. Our mob in the holding area. Yeah, upgrades, exactly. Upgrades, people. Upgrades. Okay, so what did I say about updates? So the Chaos Cubed drop will be released June 16th. They announced that at Minecraft Live during TwitchCon on Sunday. Saturday, Sunday, over the weekend. Okay. Must have been Saturday because I put up my live reaction Saturday. So that drops on the 16th. I don't know if the mods will be updated. I do have some time off at the end of June that maybe I could do that. You thought it was July? No, it actually is. It's going to be June 16th. So it's in about 2 weeks. They're in pre-release releases now, so we should be seeing release candidates maybe as early as next week. So soon. Actually, we could be seeing release candidates later this week, for all I know. But that would absolutely work. We do this on both sides. So anyway, so here's the step. We have, if we're gonna change this, you're not familiar with Java's modding. Do mods need to have what version they work with? Pretty much, yes. They need to be built for the version of Minecraft that you're playing on. I haven't written mods myself because of time and lack of desire. But yeah, that's basically how that works. Is they they have to be built to work with the version of Minecraft you're playing. Which is fine. I mean, we do have really, there are only a couple of important mods. I've got a bunch of client-side mods that I use that I could not have for a little while if we needed to, but that would be annoying. That would be so annoying. But anyway, so let's talk about the steps here, because I keep starting with that and then getting confused. Bedrock add-ons work until Mojang changes. Yeah, there's some API things. There's some mods where supporting the next version is as simple as updating the version requirements in a metadata file, and they just work. Others are more complicated, but yeah. If I had any desire to program in Java, man, of all of the languages I dislike, Java is one of them. It's right up there with Python. Okay. So logic. C++ is, it's not fabulous. You just updated old code base is your anarchy. Yeah, that sucks. Snoopers. Oh, it was pure anarchy. Gotcha. So you update your client and your mods. Now it's saying my Java isn't updated. Check your. I ran into this where I went to change the Minecraft version and didn't actually change the Minecraft version or something. I don't remember. It was weird. Okay. So, walking through this. When we go to do the switch over, there's an order that has to happen here. We pull out the floor. Okay. That way our test subject will drop down and flood over onto this area here, which means this has to be empty. So what we need to do is at the same time, or maybe just after, I don't know, trigger the geysers, right? And that will push this mob up here. Okay, we have to put the floor back. Oh, actually what I could do is I could store the replacement mob up top. Okay. Yeah, so there's a timing thing I'm going to have to sort out here, because at some point we have to put the floor back, right? We have to put the floor back, and then we have to flush the replacement mob. Okay. Into the enclosure. Okay, so yeah, getting all that, I think if we trigger the geysers, so we send the replacement mob up, turn off the geyser. I'm going to have a door up here or something that opens, or a block that drops or something. Exactly. Magicians using their twin to teleport around the stage. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to do it with a camel and a camel husk, a horse and a zombie horse, and then a villager and a zombie villager over there. Okay, so that's going to be the idea. In fact, what I might do even, if I put the zombie villager on this side, I might have a couple of smaller enclosures that just have like a husk and a regular zombie, right? Something like that over here. Or just a husk and then the zombie, whatever that is. But that's a thing we can look at later. But I like this idea because then, okay. Okay, so yeah, we launched the replacement up. So it'll be up here. Then we turn off the geysers. We pull out the floor. This guy's going to have to sit up here, so I'm going to need a way to unleash the beast. So it's actually going to be sitting like right at this level. But I have to pull out something so that it will flood in. Flood might actually be the right word. But so it washes into the enclosure here. After the floor is put back. Yeah, so it's going to be a case of either we have this guy just in holding, which is fine. That would actually be a little bit nicer, maybe. It's a definite maybe. All right. But that means this redstone is going to be fairly simple because it's just going to be a series of dispensers and lava buckets. And I don't have a lava farm here, but I know where I can get lava. So that'll be a thing. Okay, I like this idea. So, all right. So again, our happy little critter is going to have to be coming out at this level. Okay. All right. In the nether. Yes, actually, I have a small, lava farm back at my Badlands base. Actually, I've got a larger lava farm back in the ancient city, so we can pull some there. All right, so it's going to come out here, which means I need to have some form of door coming up this way. Right, so that it will wash through. Right, so it'll wash through and then down into this area. Okay, now this doesn't have to be glassed here, right? I'm just marking off some places, but I kind of like where this goes. Yeah, I've been in this world for a while, so this is like my third base. I wasn't planning on reaching third base in this world. That might not have been the way to put that. Honestly, that probably was 100% not the way to put that. But no, I was not intending to have ended up with a third actual base in this world. But here we are. Okay, so we have the thing. Yeah, so I could have, like, I could bring this all the way over here. Happy accidents. Yeah. Right, I could bring this over this way. I'm sorry, I've got a big kelp farm. When it harvests, it gets a little laggy for a minute. So if you're seeing it jitter a little bit, it's not you, it's me. Yeah, for those of you who happen to be new to this world, I have a 64 furnace smelter array here. And I have, sitting back behind here, a little area of just a handful of smokers that just cook kelp, right? And they cook kelp, and it gets turned into blocks. and eventually shipped over to a minecart over there, which, when it gets full enough, refills all of these smokers, and then will come out and fuel all of this. So that provider just, yeah, no, it actually is, it is client lag here. Might actually be server lag, I'm not entirely sure, but yes, yeah. Snooper says, do we need to do a world tour? Yeah. We might have to. I have to go get a camel. But yeah, that could be the idea. Anyway, so I've got this giant furnace array, so it's a thing. And then sitting under here, there's a little bit of a kelp farm. I used to also have axolotls in here that would take care of any glow squid that would spawn in here. The axolotls got themselves smushed by the flying machine, and so I no longer have axolotls, and it's sad. Oh well. Okay, so anyways, that's a thing. But I could have this come out this way. Oh yeah, this camel spawning in deserts is fabulous. I love that. So nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. My poor axolotls. Especially because I don't really have a good axolotl farm, so I think I actually have a place where I can farm them. It's just painful. All right, excuse me. So if I actually have this blocked off, like so, and we bring, yeah, we'll just bring some pale oak here for a minute. So we wash them over this way, and they drop in. So they're sitting in a box that's like right here. I'll make it. Yeah, tropical fish for it. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm in an ocean. Tropical fish, I can get tropical fish. The weird part is actually just breeding the axolotls. You would help, but you're confused by Java? That's fair. That is very fair. I don't know if the Java interpreter is causing you grief. Yeah, in fact, I might back this off a little bit. So if I bring them up here. So what are we at? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, and then what I would have to do is I might be able to rig. Actually, it would probably work. I could probably rig a flying machine to pull a door out of the way so that they would flush in, and then I can close it again. Yeah, that might be a thing. Okay. Because yeah, it's not a long enough drop, I think, that they would take damage, I hope. Okay. I mean, I could. So I could make it slime, but then I would have to have everything here would have to be glazed terracotta and stuff. Yeah, it would be. The only reason I'm thinking of flying machine is that it would be a 3-block high. It's like it'd be a 3x2 door, or maybe 3x4, depending on how I want to pull this off. And so if the zombie doesn't, the camel doesn't get stuck because it's on top of the water and hits its head on the block or something like that. I mean, slabs are a thing, I suppose. On the other hand, I really only need it to be 2 blocks high in the middle. Also, I'm thinking about having it closed so that I can't see it. So if I'm sitting over here, I don't look and like, oh, there's the other mob just bouncing away over there. So, you know, what's that hole in the wall? You know, that type of thing. So, that is... The floor, it makes sense, because it's going to be a fairly large thing. Now, I may not use actual flying machines. I may have to figure out a good 2-block piston extender. The problem is, when you do it, if you do a piston extender, like where these are the pistons and these are the observers, it's fine because you can rely on quasi-connectivity and stuff. But that doesn't work if I need them to stay out, so. Anyway, yeah, squirrel. We're gonna, trust me, I squirrel bad enough as it is. All right, so. Now, as long as I dig this out, so I have my water channel behind here, I think this will be okay. Because as I said, I do need I need space for a water channel so that if I do build farms out in the corners, I can get stuff into the bubble columns there. So just trying to keep that in mind. But yeah, I think this will work. So, and if I put flying machines underneath here, I could do hay. Actually, if I do hay bales cut fall damage. So even if they might potentially take a half a tick or something of fall damage normally, landing on a hay bale would negate that. Wouldn't be nice as like landing on slime where they would just bounce, but slime would be problematic. So we would love if Mojang brought quasi-connectivity to Bedrock. Okay. Could add that to deep slate pistons and stuff. Yeah. Bedrock also has the advantage of movable tile entities where you can shift dispensers and stuff around with pistons. You can't do that in Java. All right, let me go see. Do I have honey? I did bring some honey over here. Yeah, okay, I've got some honey. And do I have slime blocks? Probably not. Not in the quantities I need. Or maybe I do. Okay, never mind. It's like, do I have to head back to the Badlands and pull stuff from the storage over there? There are mods for that, that's true. But this world is vanilla, so we don't get that. Now, in my Create Mod Skyblock world, I still don't have that. But I have other things going on, so that's cool. All right, so where is this floor going to have to be? All right, so they're going to... Actually, I think this may have to go here. The door, I think we'll just put on top of that, which should be fine. Again, if I do this right, the water should flow right to the edge here. So when I open the door, the camel will wash out and end up down here, which would be great. Let's get some hay bales. Fortunately, I have a wheat farm here, which is happily making hay bales. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely making hay bales. Awesome. Crazy. Now with aeronautics. Yeah, I don't have create aeronautics on in Skyblock, but yeah. In fact, the latest create mod video just dropped yesterday for channel members, level 1 members on YouTube. It'll be up Friday for everyone else, but if you are desperate. Okay, so the idea is our hay bales would go here. Okay, I'd like them to face down, but I think I'll just fix that later. For now, the hay bales would go there. Okay, we're going to have to take out... back. Okay, turns out that was a much further drop than I was expecting. Okay. You don't know how to make YouTube accept your rubles. That's fair. Right. Let's see if this way is good. This way. All right. I'm on the wrong side of the machine, but that's just peachy. Arky-darky. Okay, so basically, yeah, so this would all have to come out, I think, to there. Yeah. So this would all come out here as well. Okay. Suppose I could take the wall out here too. That would be okay. All right, now, here's the part where I try to do redstone on camera, and it's a disaster in the making. Okay, so, especially, you know, let's try to do a flying machine, because those are simple and easy. All right, let's come out this way. Okay, I passed spectacularly. Yes. We can do it. Flying machines are not something I do a lot with, so it's going to be a special breed of fun here. All right, we're going to do this with multiple flying machines, I think. Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're not going to have enough stuff. So we're going to do this with, technically speaking, I think we... Actually, I could probably just do it with 2. Now that I think about it. I think I can do this with 2 flying machines. So there's those, and then that side. Okay. Now, flying machine's going to stop there, which is what I want. Let me see if I have something for the ankles I keep breaking. And maybe I have some obsidian around here somewhere. Also, it'd be nice if I brought my other chat window up so it's easier to see. Okay. Let's see what I have in the way of obsidian. Crying obsidian will do it. Thank you very much. Actual obsidian is useful. Crying obsidian, well, there's a distinct less useful factor to crying obsidian. All right, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to build 2 flying machines. Crying obsidian is pretty. That is true. I used it in a build once. I built a throne room with a mirrored floor. And the top was all bright and cheerful and happy, and then the mirror, and then the underside was sort of a dark reflection. And I used crying obsidian through there. It looks great. The problem with crying obsidian is it gets... it's got a really obvious pattern on it, which is a little bit funky. Okay, so we're going to have flying machine go with here, which means it's going to stop. It drips particles, that's true. It is drippy. All right, flying machines. We've got, what do we have here? Oh, we've got 6, 12. No, I can't do it with 2 flying machines. Darn. Okay. Nope, that's fine. We'll just do it with more than. We'll do it that way. I could do it with 3 potentially too, but this is fine, I guess. Actually, honestly, I don't even know if I need flying machines. I just need, I need a double piston extender. All right, hang on. Did I leave my redstone box upstairs, or is it in my ender chest? Probably left it upstairs because I don't put anything away. Oh no, here it is. Well, that's convenient. I don't think I have any pistons in it though. 1 flying machine with 3 flying. Yeah. I think what I want to try is having pistons. Having pistons, I think, is actually going to be something that would be really helpful here. I don't know. Maybe redstone would be nice too. All right, let's grab some iron. Oh, yeah. You know, I have a really bad iron farm in this world. But it kind of works. It's surprisingly bad, given that it has 7 modules to it. All right, stone. Cobblestone. Great. Okay. Yeah, take it. It doesn't have feet. Yeah, it's true. All right. Pistons. Great. All right, so the iron can go. Actually, let's take some of that iron. We need to go heal this dude back here. No, the problem is I got creative with the design, and it works fine. It's just, yeah, no. The problem is it's 100% the zombie that I use. So it's 7 modules stacked on top of each other, and I wrap a zombie around. So it goes up a bubble column on one side and then drops down the other. And I had it where it just drop, hit a little bit of water, slow it down, but it didn't slow it down enough, and the villagers didn't always get scared. So I replaced the water with cobwebs, which I think slowed it down a little bit too much. It works fine. The zombie gets there, villagers are scared, golem pops out. But it takes the zombie some time to get through, so I might have been better off with the water. I don't know. But I haven't gone back to try to fix it, so what am I doing? I'm in the wrong place. Alright, so powdered, it's in a minecart. I don't think powdered snow would slow it down fast enough. Or slow it down enough, I guess. Okay, so let's do some testing. So what I need to do is invent a piston extender. Actually, this should probably be above, so we're gonna move this up a little bit. Okay. All right, so that's gonna go there. Honey blocks are fine, doesn't matter. Okay. All right, so what I need to do is I need to reach out, and I need this to be I need this to be on by default, right? So, oh, good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we're not going to have any problems with just redstone randomness. Actually, that's the nice thing about Java, is it's a little bit more consistent about that. My inventory sucks. My inventory always sucks. Hang on. Let's let my copper golems be confused about life. I mean, they're often confused, but we're gonna... Sometimes they put things in the right place. They try hard. All right, so what I need to do is am I going to be pedantic? The copper golems are cute. Yes, they are. I like them. Actually, I really like them because it makes it fairly easy to set up a relatively straightforward auto sorting system without dealing with a huge amount of redstone. And so, unfortunately, the way I have it set up, the depending on which copper golem picks up the item and where they're at, especially in these corners, they don't always get things sorted correctly, and I get a bunch of stuff in the overflow. Which looks like I need to make sure everything's in the right place, but the sorting system I have back in my Badlands base is significantly nicer. It has proven to be 100% reliable, which is fabulous. Okay, so basically, we're going to need something like this, maybe. Do I have a repeater? Yeah. I'm making this up. I don't know if... Okay. That worked surprisingly well. Hang on. Okay, and that just pulls that... Right, because I don't have anything turning this block off. Okay. All right, so... Okay. Ah, close. I need an ABBA circuit for it to be that simple. Yeah. Okay. And I need this to not zero tick because it can't... I can't have it leaving the blocks behind. Okay. Which I think I could probably do. Oh, I'm going to need some more... I think I need more repeaters. Repeaters take smooth stone, don't they? That would make more sense, huh? Yep, smooth stone. Hey, at least I have some. It's the joy of digging out a large area. I've got a bunch of smooth stone over here. Okie dokie. You know what? Hang on. I'm just going to grab a shulker box, and we'll throw a bunch of random stuff in the shulker box. Because that'll make sense. Alright, so let's just throw a bunch of stuff in the shulker box, because I don't need it right this very instant. Alright. Now, what I do need, though, is a couple of redstone torches and a couple of repeaters. Okay. So if that goes there, right, and we power it. Okay. Turns out that works great. If you power it from front to back instead of from back to front... Ah, okay. They don't do the right thing. Okay. Let us try. The one problem I'm going to have... Oops. Okay. Just making sure those aren't going to do things I don't want them to do. Okay. Need some, yeah, non-sticky block. I think we'll be okay. So, let's see. Power it from front to back instead of from back to front. Turning off the piston extender, we'll do the, yeah. Okay. Right, so if this goes... Right. Right, so that goes there. So this would have to be under the honey. Okay, yeah, this would have to get powered. Yeah, okay, I think I see what you're saying. Powered obsidian right there. Okay, we need another repeater to push the signal through the block. Okay, that goes there like that. Glazed terracotta would work for that too, I guess. But okay, and then this goes like so. Okay, and then that's there, and then when the power goes off, it retracts. It doesn't retract enough though. Okay, so basically I need... I've got a lever, right? Yep. Surprisingly enough, I actually have a lever. Yeah, it needs to be a bit longer. That's kind of what I was thinking. So this has to shut off first. And I think like that. Why did it not pull the honey? Okay, right. That pulls back. Oh. Yeah, because it's pushing out to here, but yeah, see what's happening is it's retracting this front piston, but the front piston isn't staying stuck on the honey. I wonder if the behavior is different with slime. No. Okay. Need an... Oh, just... Observer looking at the last repeater to send power to the front piston. Okay. Alright, so this goes here. We need... Yeah, because basically what we need to do... Yeah, is... I think you're right, is we need to trigger that, that piston again. Because... Right, that retracts. But if I was to send another pulse right to that piston, it would totally do the thing. Yeah. So now the problem is this also has to be stackable, so I can't have things sticking out the side. Okay. And when this is on, this has to be steady power. So, yeah, I do have an observer. See, if I have an observer that faces that way, yeah. Right. See, this isn't going to do anything because I'm not getting power through there. Yeah. From the back to that front piston, then. Okay. Yeah, because this extends properly. I just have to trigger. Now the problem, let's see. Redstone dust under the obsidian. Repeater to the last piston. Those are words. I recognize some of them. Repeater to last. Okay. Because, yes. All right. So if I were to Right, have redstone dust under here. Thus saith you. Okay. Now, right now, we're not going to get any power. But that's okay. Right, so that goes out that way. Okay. Now, unfortunately, well, I can't put an observer there. It'll get all stickificated. Let's see. I can't put an observer here. I don't think. I mean, I could, but right, if I were to put an observer here, the points up. Whoa! That turns out there's a hole there. Oh, hey, I've got ender pearls. We'll just use those. Okay. Cool. That's absolutely what I needed. Okay. Cool. Let's try this again, this time with feeling. I don't think this is going to work because it's stupid. The observer is not actually observing anything. So, you know, that's cool. Yeah, other way around. Well, I could have it right point this way. That's awesome. I may have to build this up a little bit just to have a little bit more room here to build, but what happens when that triggers? All right, hang on. I got to build this up a little higher. Give myself a little bit extra room since I apparently have a giant kelp farm underneath here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to come up here now with our happy little piston friends. Okay. Dust under the obsidian, repeater at the same height. Observer looking at this repeater. Okay. Sorry, redstone is hard to understand in text, so see if I can figure out what's going on. Just need to wire the last piston. Okay. All right, so if that goes there, get redstone dust like so. That goes that way. Repeaters. Do I have a Discord channel? I do, in fact. Yeah, it should be. I have a link to it even. Yeah, there's a Minecraft channel. Okay, so if I do that, oh right, except this was going to point. This points up. Like so, Peter goes there. Okay. Oh right, that does nothing. Okay. Oh, ha! Forgot the extra tick. Right, yeah, that's not gonna pulse up. I need. Oh, yeah, I think I see what's going on. Kinda, sorta. Maybe. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mute that tab. Mute. All right. Hang on, I don't have Discord open. Handy. I have a Discord channel open that I can see, but it's okay. All right, yeah, drop it in the Minecraft channel on the Discord, and yeah, the Tech Talk channel is for other things. All right, so let's see if I can figure this out. So that goes there. We need to piston up that way. Because, yeah, if I power that. Oh, right, I had an idea. Okay. That's the wrong block. Just saying. Absolutely the wrong block. Okay. It goes like that. Comes out. Okay, so we do the thing. Obviously nothing's happening there, which is totally a thing. That turns off. What happens if I pulse that? Interesting. Interesting. We definitely are getting power in the wrong place, but cool. Huh. Alright, well, fun, but not at all what I need it to do. Because I need it to pulse that guy right there. Okay. What happens if we go this way? Okay. Yeah, we get 0 ticked and can't do that. Wait a minute. Okay, so we do need a solid signal going through here to keep that extended. Okay. That's definitely a thing. That's going to come out. I think maybe. Okay. All right, so that retracts, and this piston retracts, and then we have to fire again. Which I can't power this piston again because that would be. I mean, I could, but I don't think it'll work. All right, so this goes back. Yeah, I like redstone. I'm just not good at it. Okay, but hey, maybe we'll get there. We'll do things. It'll be great. Yeah, because if I power this block, then the repeater sends it into that, which is not what I need. I need it to go only to that block. May or may not breathe it? Okay. See what I see. The problem here too with this is if I 0 tick this, let's see, that way. No, other way. So okay, that did work. Aha. So basically all I need to do then is okay. That goes there. If I run redstone like this, actually I could run redstone. I think I can run it up here. Observers are transparent. So if I do this, nothing happens there, which is cool. Okay. So what I need to do is just pop up like that. This might be the stupidest thing ever. Okay, that goes on, and oh, I need yeah. I need that tick there. Okay. Other than the fact this doesn't work, it's fabulous. Fabulous, darling. Okay. Okay. There we go. That does it. That's got it. All right, we're good. We're good. We got it. 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 Okay. Huh and za at the same time. All right. The only drawback here is we get a little bleed, but yeah, you could post it in the Minecraft channel on this Discord server, but I think I've got a solution here. So we get power, and then we retract it. Okay. Well, that's reasonable. I'm going to need some more observers, though. Got it. We got it. There is an extra step, by the way, in the welcome channel. I think you have to react to a thing to get privileges to post images. Okay. So, okay, so I've got this. I need some of this. Grab some dust. All right, nice. So now we make the observers. Good enough. Okay. Sweet. All right, oh, I'm also going to need some observers. Some repeaters. Ugh. There is something to be said for being in creative mode. I mean, it's boring, but there is something to be said for it. I've got stone. I have sticks. Oh, maybe I've got enough. We'll grab a few more sticks just to be on the safe side. Yeah, I play in survival because playing in creative is boring. I mean, it's great for doing testing and stuff, but for actual long-term gameplay, not a fan. You know, if you like it, that's awesome. You know, don't let me spoil your fun. What did I screw up? I don't know. Torches. That's what I screwed up. Okay. So, I'm going to need more than that. That'll work. Okay. That will work. Okay, so now what I need to do is... Okay, so that's what it's going to look like extended. So I'll need to come in and bring a bunch of stuff under that, but... Okay, it's up there for the wiring. Curious to see what you got going on here. Okay, actually, yeah, I ended up with the same solution. Okay. Cool, cool. All right. Get off the... Hang on. I've changed Windows and it was bad. Okay, yeah. So I basically have the same solution. I just have obsidian instead of moss from yours. Then yeah. All right, so we got it. Awesome. So basically, this is going to come back here. We're going to need some stone. Oh, up a little high. Yep, double piston acquired. That's going to be a lot simpler than using flying machines, so I'm happy about that. Okay, so we are going to need some power. Okay, I'll figure out how I'm going to trigger all of this later. Okay. Subnautica dramatic theme plays, yes. Okay. Going to need to get some more stone. Okay. That's fine. I know where to get it. I have a bunch. I have a lot of stone. Okay, so let's go ahead and just throw a torch up here to make life a little bit easier. All right, so what I'm going to need to do, actually, I think we'll retract that. So I'm going to have to move all of those back a couple of blocks, but that'll make it a little bit easier to build, I think. All right. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to take a quick bio break. So I will be right back. Awesome. I've got brass. Cool. And then do I have stripped logs? Okay. Close enough. And by close enough, I mean that's exactly what I'm looking for. I know. It's sometimes, you know, I look at these things and wonder, am I actually thinking as I walk through this process? And and sometimes I think I'm not sure that I am. But hey, at least we've got an automated thing to finger my stripped logs, I guess. So that's not at all awkward. Okay. All right. I am back. Sorry about that. The soda goes through me at this age. All right. So we now have stuff. Oh, saw the slime there. It's like, wait a minute. All right. So this is all gonna. Yeah, I saw the slime there and thought, wait a minute. Why is there slime there? That's not a slime chunk. Turns out, it actually was not a slime chunk. All right, so, right, that's going to go there. Yep, we're going to have to cut into this wall, which I believe is underwater, so that's going to be cool. Okay. Right, so that's going to go like so. Wonderful. And then, yeah, that's all wet under there. Yes, the mighty sponge. However, behold the mightier ocean. So, we're going to have to get out here and build ourselves a little bit of a shelter. Okay. Not a huge deal, but slightly painful. Let me clear out some inventory space so I've got some blocks to work with. Yeah, that the feeble sponge is right. Okay. All right, so lever's going there. I should just set up bundles. Like, this is the piston bundle, and this is the whatever else bundle. This is some other thing bundle. Right, before I do that, hang on, I need to see how far back I need to go. So it looks like we're going to have to go 3, 4, or 5 blocks back just so that I have room to work. Okay. That's fine. We can do that. Let's grab a carrot. All right, and you know what? I think I'm just going to build this with stone. This should be fine. The other side, where the horse is going to go, will actually be... I mean, I'll have to do the same thing, but I really only have that small gap I have to fill in. So this side is going to be the most painful, but it shouldn't be too bad. What's also going to be painful is getting out of here. How do I get out of here? Okay, we go up. Woohoo! All right. I haven't closed this off completely yet, so we're fine. All right, so I need to be coming in right... It's right here. Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to turn on the gamma override so y'all can see. Okay. Woohoo! Ah, this is good. Okay. Can't wait to unlock the simpler redstone in Terraria. Yeah. I'm actually curious about that. It'll be fun. I said I love doing automation and stuff, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Okay, so I was saying I needed, what, about 5? Ah, there's a ceiling there. There's a lot of ceiling there. Hang on. I should just get my Nautilus and do that. But that's okay. So I need to come out 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, I'm all on sand here too, huh? Let's get that sand out of the way. Okay. This'll work. Yeah, potion of water breathing. Well, I said I've got a Nautilus. I don't remember where it's parked, but I've got one. And that would take care of this fairly quickly. I just have to go find it. It's not like I have, you know, a really obvious Nautilus parking spot. It's just parked between one of the glass wedges. Yeah, it's made out of the pufferfish, yeah. Where did I leave it? Oh, it's over... Yeah, it's over there. Yeah, let's go get it. Alright, so I need... Okay, grab that. Okay. Hello. Alright. Let's go. Yeah, I still have the gamma override on, so that's cool. Alright, so here we go. I like the pufferfish, the Nautilus. It makes this a little nicer. Yes, I accidentally killed a Nautilus because of its dash ability. I actually jumped over the wall into the science lab while I was building it, and it ended up in a very dry place. Okay. That's probably good. All right. Okay. Yeah, they tend to hate that. You're 100% right. Okay, you know what's really cool? Staying on the Nautilus. Did I not even ride the stupid Nautilus? You know, every once in a while, I amaze myself with my total inability to actually play Minecraft. Yep, there's the Nautilus. I swam all the way over there, placed all the blocks, and then... Alright, cool. Well, let's go park the Nautilus that we didn't use, and now we can go back inside. Go me. Okay. No, that wasn't dumb. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Okay. So, where are we? All right, we are here. Have the Hermitcraft anvil thing with silence? Yes. Yes, I do. I wasn't entirely planning on silencing the the Nautilus. That just happened to be the name tag I had available. So, because I was sort of in a hurry, and the name tags I have in my shulker box or my ender chest are just all silence me. Oops. Apparently, I did not go quite far enough. Cool. All right, well, one more block to go, I guess. Come on. Not there. Okay, cool. Hey, at least it wouldn't flood anything important. All right, so pull this out, and then we've got to get under here a little bit. Also need to clear out the sides so that our honey blocks and things don't. Okay, we're not damaging anything down here, right? No, looks like we washed out a torch or two. Get down there and take care of that. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. All the safety. Not that I know of, yeah. Yeah. Okay, now we do things. It's great. We have the many things that we do. I have made a mistake. Okay. Thought, oh, I'll just cheat. I'll just swim under there. That was dumb. Sometimes, man, sometimes. Alright, so we come down this way, and what do we got? Stuff and things. Okay, so 2 pistons and the blocks and the stuff. Alright. Alright, so pull all this out. Oops. Yep. Well, I guess we'll have to go put that torch back. No, we're fine. Everything's great here. Yeah, everything's wonderful. We're fine. Okay, so that's going to go there. We need... Right, the pistons are going to go up here. Okay, so let's go. Just take that row of stuff out for a minute. The pistons I put away, of course, because I'm a responsible Minecrafter or something. There, grab that slime ball, because yeah, I think we're going to need all of those. Okay. Actually, it's not that dark down here. Okay. We'll just throw a couple of extra torches up at not ground level in case I flood that one more time, because there's no possible way that could happen or anything like that. That would be silly. Why am I on Neil Diamond all of a sudden? Alright, oh, that's fine. Neil Diamond is fine. Yeah, never. Not even once. Okay. Alright, so pistons. 3, 2. Oh, okay. Nope, just did 1, and now we do all of that. Okay, and 1 more. Shiny. Alright, so now we need to come back here. Alright. Whoa, hi. Okay, we'll just, once again, flood all the things. Alright, so this needs to come out here. Right, and now we're putting... Oh, I guess I'm out of smooth stone. Alright, hang on. My pistons No, in fact, no, they're fine. I moved the blocks back. I have to fill in the slime one and stuff here, but we'll be fine. What I will actually need to do is take out the honey, or take out the hay bales, because they'll actually jam the system until I get everything lined up correctly. All right, so let's grab another stack of stone. Okay. Yeah, these hay bales. Do I have a hoe on me? I surprisingly enough do. No wonder my inventory is a mess. Okay. All right, so that's gonna go there, like, oops, like that. Honey blocks go there. All right. Yeah. Yep. Look forward to your return. Okay, so we can pull all this diorite out. I do enjoy having efficiency tools. All right, so now our smooth stone. Oops, goes here. Okay. Yep, smooth stone goes there. With redstone dust that I don't have on me. Cool. No, this is going okay. We're kind of sort of we're doing things. It's kind of scary, but it's true. We're totally doing things. Okay. All right, so that goes there. I need another line back here, right? Yeah. All right, so redstone dust comes on top of... Okay. All right. Cool. Hopefully that's the last time I end up having to break into that wall. Okay, redstone dust goes there. Redstone dust goes here. Then what? Okay, and then we step down here. Okay. All right, and then this is repeaters. And they need to be on one tick. All right, and then we get ourselves observers pointing at those repeaters. Okay. Observers, which we totally have. Awesome. I like having things. All right, and then these points, yeah, to put up. All right, so that should work okay. All right, we get another line of redstone dust here. And this is okay that they're all there because, yeah, stuff and things. So then we have... Okay, on top of that goes our sticky block, or our non-sticky block, right? Yeah, right next to the observers. Okay. Okay, that block goes there. We get now repeaters pointing into the obsidian, like so. All right, and then we have our lever. Okay. All right. So for now, just temporarily, we'll just turn it on and off from there. Okay. This is just the, hey, let's make sure everything works bit. Okay. Right, so that goes there. And now we're back. Okay, cool. All right, so when that extends out like that, everything's there. And it will totally work. Yep, absolutely. Carrot. All right, so now if I come down here with my handy dandy hay bales. Okay. All right, and then I can deal with... okay, slime blocks would go underneath. So we would have a wall here so we can't see what's happening, right? But if we come down here, right, we flip this. Oh, I now actually have a problem. My redstone's in the way. This works great. Except I need 3 blocks of space here so that I can have water and stuff so my camels will drop through and be fine. Well, that's not ideal. This works. That totally works. Works great. Okay. Yes, that was why I was trying to power it from the other side. Can extend the length of the slime honey. Oh, that's true. I could. Yeah, because I've got plenty of give. You're absolutely right. Because each of these is only pushing really 4 blocks. Well, 5 if you count this for this piston. So yeah, I've got room. All right, so I have to build this again. I just have to push it back up. Yeah, 1 block will be fine. All right, cool. Boy, it's a good thing I don't have a bunch of obsidian to dig up. That would be awkward. Okay, so this is all going to have to go back a block. All right, so this comes out this way. Egad, brain. All right. Cool. So, right. This comes out here and goes right against that wall. Okay. So that's going to go like that, and this all has to come back out. Okay. Yeah, not a huge problem, just annoying. Okay. Redstone dust goes there. Nope, you were absolutely right on that HRS. Just push this back a block and we'll be good. All right, so this goes like that. Redstone dust goes there. Okay. Now it's 47 years to dig up the obsidian, but, you know. Outside of that, or use an easier block like glazed terracotta. You know, where's that? Redstoning does stuff to your brain. Yeah, yeah. No, I like redstone. So, I said it's. I'm a programmer by training, and I work in IT. So you know, it's you know. Programming is something I just do. So that's not that. So that part of it's not hard. Okay, so we've got that going. I am in fact going to swap out this obsidian for glazed terracotta because I think I have a bunch of that. And that's just going to be easier to work with. Plus, I've got a lot of it. Terracotta, here I come. Okay, it's magenta. We're going to be working with magenta glazed terracotta, but that's okay. Or moss, that's true. I've got a bunch of that too. But I feel better about the terracotta. It gives me the special feelings. Okay, so... Okay, terracotta goes there. Just out of curiosity, which way is it pointing? Okay. Alright, so... Cool. So then the block goes like so. We now take our redstone. Okay. And now we can take the lever and go. Cool. What am I sticking to? And more to the point, what redstone did I miss? Oh, right. I see what I missed. Hi, I'm stupid. No, that's not true. Just not observant. Okay. Yep, forgot the repeaters. We got them. It's like, I'm doing something right here, but that wasn't it. Also, I've managed to lose my lever. Go. Okay. Awesome. So there's our floor. And when we flip it, out it comes. Great. And I don't have to worry about camels and stuff trying to fit through this gap, so they won't get caught there. Okay, so then I can... Right, so they'll drop down into the water here. I might even drop them down one more block. I think I've... See, the geyser will push them 10 blocks. 10 blocks above the surface. So, yeah, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, yeah, I can drop them down one more block. Just to be sure that, hey, if they end up sitting here on bouncing in the water and then this closes, they don't get their head stuck in it and suffocate. Because that would be awkward for them. So, yeah, we would like to avoid that small problem. Okay. Alright, so this will go this way. Now, I'm building for a system that I'm not going to have installed for another, well, said another month, but... Okay, but that's the idea. Yeah, suffocation is not fabulous. It is definitely a little bit on the bad side. Okay, so we would need water 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pushes them out here. I actually need to go over that far. So we're going to be pushing the limits here of this, right? Hang on, I need to count this out again. So we need to come up to this level. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I can drop down one more block, so that's fine. Because I'll need to drop down here. Okay, because I have to get underneath that hole. So a 3-block geyser will push them up 15. So I suppose I could, if I had to, pop another one in there. And so it did say it pushes them up from inside the wall, or if they're underground, actually, if they're inside the water between the geyser and the output. So, okay. It's going to be source blocks. That's going to be unpleasant. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some magic here. Um, darn. Okay, it shouldn't be a big deal, but I'm gonna have to pay attention to it. So the water's gonna flow this way, right? Water will flow underneath here. Okay. But the problem is at the actual geyser. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. They'll be sitting here. It doesn't. It's where the geyser itself is doesn't have to be source blocks. So yeah, we're fine. Never mind. I got it. The brain finally kicked in. The two brain cells decided to rub together in a sort of suggestive way and managed to make something beautiful. Okay. Okay. Now, camels stuff are sort of large, so giving them plenty of space here. Okay. But yeah, no, I think this will work. So we'll get them up here. Yeah, you know, they do things. The other thing I do have to be aware of is that camels will climb up 2 blocks, so you know we'll have to fill this in. And then there's going to be a lot of redstone that has to happen back behind this. One direction or another, but probably that direction. Okay, because I need to... Obviously, I've got the water stream that's going to come over here in front of the geyser. Okay, right. This would come out. Do I have a singular sign on me, which is cool. Oh, that's an interesting thought. So I was just thinking if I put pressure plates here, but I actually need... I need this to stop. Where'd my axe go? There it is. I don't have to use my axe. I spend longer looking for the axe than I am actually getting the thing. But that's the idea here. We can make buttons if they're going to supports for it. Buttons would wash away in the water. I hope the geyser wouldn't hit the sign. If it does, that could be a problem. You know, and I could use pressure plates and stuff like that, but I just need them. But I need the mob to end up over here. So yeah, so that's definitely a thing that needs to happen. Yeah, buttons wash away in Java. Okay, do I have, I put them in the box. What's in the box? Nope, they're not in the box. I put them in the storage system. Let's check the light box. Did everything just miss? A lot of it missed. Not everything, but a lot of it. Alright. We'll deal with that problem later. But anyway, yes, buttons do not stop water in Java. It's one of those weird quirks, right? Okay. Slap some frog lights down. Okay. So, yeah, so they'll drop down here. Okay. And then we'll get flushed over this way. And if I actually put ice there with the water, the water will still push them here. I think the ice will just make sure they get pushed a little bit further into the thing here. But yeah, that's something I'm going to have to test, but I can't do it until I start playing in the snapshot. But does the sign block the geyser? And honestly, I just don't know. If it doesn't, we're golden. And there might be a couple things like glow lichen would also work. And then it's just a question, would the glow lichen block the geyser? And if it does, again, that would be annoying. Just saying. It's one of those, yeah, the ever-growing parity differences. Yepers. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just very excited to have this cool double piston extender. All right. Cool, so that does a thing. All right, so we'll have to turn that on and off. Interesting. Frog lights look pretty. I love frog lights. They are my favorite light block. You can do so many cool things with them. Sea lanterns are great once you eventually have a sea lantern farm, which I now do. Yeah, I've got more than enough sea lanterns for a while, but I like frog lights. The only problem with frog lights is they're not transparent blocks, so they block chests. Sea lanterns don't do that, but... Okay, so we would have to have... Right, this would all have to be water. Right? Break the thing. And then the sulfur and all of that the fun stuff happens down here. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go hunting up sulfur caves when that drops, but... Yeah, shroom lights are nice, too. Don't have TNT dupers. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I don't dupe TNT, so... I'm one of those people. I just go out and dig a bunch of sand, and I had to turn off my creeper farm because I have probably a double chest full of shulkers of gunpowder. I am set for gunpowder for a while. So, you know, I just need to dig up sand for all the TNT. I do have a tree farm I want to put together one of these days. But anyway, that's a problem for future me. All right, so we now have ourselves a floor. Okay. So our camel will drop down the floor. And will wash into this area, waiting to be geysered up to where it needs to be. Okay, so, and where that is, that's true. Digging sand is not the most exciting thing in the world. I'll grant you that. Okay, so what we need to do then is we need to bring out this way. Right. We're not going to be able to see this here anyway, so that's okay. All right. Yeah, it would be nice if husks would drop sand, or there was some way of getting renewable sand. I know it's something Mojang's been talking about internally. They've mentioned it in a number of different forums of what to do about that. So for now, they're leaving TNT duping in because they don't have a good solution to the sand problem. Okay. Now, problem with husks is farming them is painful because they don't. You can't put them in a. I think they have to have sky above them to spawn, or I guess you could with a trial chamber, but they're not the type of mob that you can just stick in a regular mob farm. Okay, I don't know why I'm doing this with oak planks, but I am. Maybe just so it's obvious to me that this is special. Okay. So, we'll put water here. Okay. Water here. It'll flush this way. Now, what I need is... I need a door. Okay. Which means this probably will need to be terracotta. There's a reason I've got a bunch of magenta glazed terracotta. When I was raiding the trial chamber, I used the arrows to actually mark directions, which is a really good use for the magenta glazed terracotta. Okay, so this would then come up this way. Take that marker out. So they'll flush across this way and then drop down onto the stuff. Okay. You can make dark areas with sky access using water as it dampens the light. Flying machine sweeper aggroing the husks. Yeah, turtle eggs does all sorts of fun stuff. Yeah. Okay, so kind of what I'm thinking here is we have ourselves another door. Okay. Yeah. Husks have never been anything I've felt the need to farm, so it's not something I've thought about in depth, but it does come up once in a while. All right, so basically actually, could I just use the same I could just use the same design, I guess. Might be a little big for this space. I mean, camels are only 1 block high anyway, so are more than a block thick, so they'd get stopped. I would just like to be able to use the same thing for villagers, and they're obviously a block wide. I'll use that to farm tridents in Bedrock. Okay, right. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen videos and stuff about the trident killers in Bedrock. That's fun stuff. Okay. Because yeah, it's like Bedrock doesn't have the sweeping edge enchantment, which is weird. So, yeah. Okay, so what I could do, honestly, it would just be simpler. Would it be simpler? If I were to just... I don't know, just temporary like so. And then I really only need a single double piston extender. This isn't going to be that big. Trident's Riptide attack with swapping to sword. Okay. It's a Temu version of Sleeping Edge. Gotcha. Okay. Alright, so basically what I would need here is... Am I looking at? Yeah, darn, more water there. Well, that's unfortunate. And we're just going to quickly put up a nice little water barrier right there. Okay. There. Now if I let water in, it's not going to flood out my piston extender down there. Okay, so... Right, so that would be the top of it, or the front piston. Which would actually end up being back a block, surprisingly enough. Okay. Jeez. Hi, look at me out here, just soaking up all the water. It's oh, the base is going to look great with that sticking out the back like that. Yeah. Terraforming is definitely a thing that's going to happen. It's all good. Okay, good. That flooded in there and there. All right, good. Nice. Where am I? All right. Yeah, so we're going to have to do some things here. But this should be relatively straightforward. Okay, because that one's going to have to be there. I think that's right. Yeah, something along those lines. Because it's going 2 blocks, and then it'll pull that and then push it back out this way. No, this doesn't look like Terraria at all. Did I set my not set my game properly? Wouldn't be the first time. Oh yeah, no, I totally screwed that up. Awesome. Title, game and title. Man, I am like the whole professional streamer thing. I got that going. I'm so good at this. Good thing I'm going to be stopping in 15 minutes or something. Oh. Come on. Yeah, you've done that. Yep. Can you? All right. Because you are a professional streamer, can I change the game while I'm going? Why am I not? All right, hang on. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. I just had to make the window a little bigger. We got it. We got it. Everything's fine. Boy, yeah. Boy, it's a good thing I didn't do anything stupid. Anyway. Thanks, Manda, for pointing that out. I got everything else updated. I just forgot to update Twitch, so... It's the 3D mod for Terraria. Yeah, that's right. It's 3D Terraria as opposed to 2D Minecraft. You know, we're good. All right. Now, back to the redstone that I was totally and completely confused by. We are... Okay. Dry redstone is best, so we're going to try to do something about that. Okay. All right, fine. Just... Yep. This is terraforming for future me back here. That's how that's going to work. All right, so let's hope that maybe I can figure this out and make something that's gonna work and actually not... Ah, jeez, monkeys! Okay, good. It didn't flood my... Okay, that still works. Nope, it totally flooded my redstone. Awesome. Sweet. So, remember what I was saying about wet redstone and dry redstone? Yes. It's gone like the wind. It's gone like the water. Okay, we'll just... I'm sure that won't happen again. There's no possible way that would happen twice. Yeah, not even a little bit. I'm, you know, I'm careful about things. Oh, okay. Let's try this again. This time with feeling. Okay. There we go. Haha! Yeah, one mess up per project. That's how this goes. All right. So that double piston extender works beautifully. Yeah, so what I'm doing today, Amanda, is I'm setting up a so I've got this science lab where we're going to be studying zombies, and I'm setting up a way to swap out the test subject. So, like, we'll have a camel here, and I'll be able to hit a button which will swap out the camel for a camel husk, and then do it again. Because science! Yes, science is the best reason to trap, undead critters in a box, or even live critters. Because science! So we're going to be doing the science. Okay, so that's going to go there. Right, that's redstone dust. This is... Aha! I did not screw it up again, so yay me. Okay, so that goes there. This is going to go like so, right? Yeah. Okay, and then we can do something. You got Enderman that walked into your crosshairs. He's still screaming. Gotta love Enderman, it's like, I'm the reason I'm mad at you, but I'm just gonna sit here and scream about it. Not unlike, toddlers, and probably... Okay, yes, I can make this happen. Right. Oh yeah, no, I can totally make this happen. Yeah, toddlers and cats. That's about right. All right, do I have a lever? No, of course I don't have a lever. I never have levers. Of all of the redstone components that I never have, levers are one of them. I can understand, I'm out of repeaters, I'm out of observers. Levers, they're just always gone. It's like, could I have a... Okay, and now... Huzzah! Yay, it works! Sweet! Oh, I love it when things work. Sweet. Okay, cool. So that's going to push across. All right, so the idea is that we will have our next contestant is going to sit here, okay? Oh, I guess we need a couple blocks. All right, so our next contestant is going to sit here, waiting and waiting and waiting. You know what? Given the hitbox, let's make this slime. Yeah. Just waiting for their chance to go in and enjoy being in the box. Okay? Yeah, no, this totally makes sense. Yeah, so they'll be here. Actually, what I could do, this might make a little bit more sense, but anyway, it's fine. We're fine. Everything's great. So this will then open. We'll have water flowing here, which will then float our happy little contestants down into the box, and they'll be here. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait to finish this contraption until I can get the Chaos Cubed update in place. Because as we were talking about the best ways to get our contestant up into our little holding area up here, we really came to the conclusion that geysers are the way to do this. That we can just dispense water or lava underneath the sulfur dealy bob, geyser the mobs up through the scaffolding, right up here where they'll then sit and wait. Geysers don't exist in my world yet. This is just silliness. It's the right solution, but it's totally silliness. All right, we'll get there. We'll get there. It'll be fine. Okay, so basically at this point, we'll have to set up the geyser system. And we're going to have to figure out... yeah, solution from the future. Exactly, HRS. Exactly. All right, so we have a timing problem we have to sort out, okay? So what I have to do is I have to open this, wait a second or two, and then close it. And then open this and wait a second or two. Actually, probably more than that. And then close it. And then once that is done, then we trigger the geyser. Okay? I think that makes sense. Okay, sorry. I had to do my dwarf impression. That was sneezy. I'm good at this. All right, so this is the logic. Pull out floor. Okay? Wait this one we won't have to wait as long because it'll just drop. But we'll call it wait 2 seconds and then actually hang on, let's do this over here. Pull out floor. 2 seconds and then right. 2 second wait. Open top door. Okay. And then we're going to come over here and this we can wait a fair amount of time. We're going to have to, but something like, I don't know, 8 to 10 second wait. And then we trigger the geysers. Does that make sense? Is my logic not totally bizarre here? Because what'll happen is this mob will drop and it will flush itself over and sit on top of this pool here. Okay? With the water here keeping them from jumping back up onto this platform. At least that's the hope and dream. And then while they're sitting here, the geysers will then eventually fire, push them up through the scaffolding, where they'll be ready to swap in whenever we're ready to do the thing. Okay, I think this logic makes sense. I know it's weird, but I think it's going to make sense. So all we need to do then is build ourselves up a nice little display area. Right? This is an observation cell, not, you know, a prison or something. Okay. All right, so cool. So now I can sort of deck this out in Barbie's dream science lab. Because I'll tell you, I was not expecting this color scheme to be what came out here. But this is what came out. And it's actually really cool. So, you know, I can live with that. It just is very pastel. But it looks good. So I can go with that. I still have a lot of detail work to do on the outside, but we're getting there. All right, so camels go here. Camel? All right, camel goeth there. This comes out. Oh, that's just stupid. Okay. That comes out. And then I'll get some glass or something in here so that we can, you know, examine the creature. All right, so that's the basics of the redstone. And I can do everything except for the sulfur beforehand, right? Okay, which is fine. All right, so that'll do its thing. We'll need to get redstone timing sorted out. But then all I have to do is mirror that over here for the horse display, where we'll have a zombie horse and unzombie horse happening over here. Okay. And then over on this side, I could use the exact same thing, right? Because even though this is too wide, it'll still work just fine. I just potentially need to shorten this up. But over on this side, set it up so that I can have a zombie villager and a villager swap places here. That's going to be really easy because I have a zombie villager farm. I don't have a villager farm. I have a zombie villager farm because I'm weird like that. Okay. But that, I think, is going to work. Okay, smokable Winkel. I think we've got it, man. My friends. 1, 2, 3. Like so. That goes that way. Design a 1-block piston extender. Honestly, it can be the same size. Because even though the villager is smaller, it doesn't matter. It'll still drop down in this 2 blocks gap. Really, all I need to do is probably I might just need to cut this area in half. And everything else will be the same. I mean, it'd be mirrored, but everything will be fine. Because yeah, it doesn't matter if the villager is only 1 block wide, sitting behind a 2-block space. It'll fit. Where it would have gotten weird if I had designed it for a villager and then had to make it work for a camel. Because, you know, something camel and eyes of needles or something. Okay. Yeah. That will, in fact, work. Yeah, and I'll replace this, and obviously I need to actually build up and design the silly thing, but yeah, this I think is going to work. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then yeah, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and this will be the display for our horse. All right, that'll be good. So this is all going to be the software, right? This is where we'll have our switch. Similar thing on this side. We'll have our switch. I can duck right in under here. I think, and use that to trigger. All right, I can come in under here, duck right through this area, and I should be able to trigger both this one for that door, this guy for the floor, and somehow bring magic down this way. It's just going to be a matter of getting all the timings correct, but yeah, that'll be fine. That will be just fine. Okay. I like it. I like it. So we'll have our happy little right, little area here. Okay. Now the hard part, of course, is going to be to find a zombie horse. That's because those are easy to find, right? Just have to find a plains biome. I don't have a base in a plains biome anywhere. Like, this base is obviously I'm in the middle of an ocean. Unsurprisingly, let's take the other one. Not that it's going to matter, but we'll take it anyway. Right, so I'm here in the middle of an ocean. I've got a savanna over there. Yeah, I think I've got horse armor. I'll have to take a look. But, right, we've got savanna all over here. My main base, I guess I've been thinking about it, is in the Badlands. So, that's the side with the glass. I think, yeah, because I know there aren't any plains near the Badlands. Because it's a big Badlands. They could be in the savannah. I know they do in the plains. Said I thought they were in the savannah. I think I actually have a small plains biome at spawn, actually. Yeah, let's fly out to spawn for a minute. Because my ancient city was in a taiga biome. So, I know that's not going to be a thing, but I think spawn was mostly in a taiga snowy biome. But I think I've got a... Yeah, I used the recall potion. But I think I've got a little bit of plains. Yeah, it's all good. I've got another roof. I can get around. Yeah, see, if I duck into... this is the store. So I've got a bunch of nether portals over here, too. Okay, so... Alright, so yeah, so if I pop out of the store here... Oh, look at all these guys! Hi! You know, this is not your time. Okay, so we've got... This is my shulker farm. Yeah, see, I've got a little bit of a plains biome happening here. Sorry, Voxy is running into Chunk Fun. But this would probably work. I'll have to check and see if they will spawn in a savanna. If they do, that would be easier. But I do have a plains biome out here, so it's not large. But it will certainly do the trick, I think. Have I seen designs for teleporters using copper golems? Yeah, was it? I think Cubfan was doing something like that. I didn't see what the design was that he was doing, but I knew he was doing something. So I like the snow globe. Sorry, I'm freezing to death. Hang on. We can do it. We can get out of here. No, we can't get out of here. Okay. Yeah, the snow globe is fun. And my snowmen who are having an eternal snowball fight. But anyway. Okay. Yeah, I built this. So this is a server, though I'm about the only one who's playing on it these days. But spawn is just over the hill. So I built this area up. One, it's got the shulker farm. I've got a church over here. I actually really like this church. This is one of those things, the steeple turned out so much better than I was ever expecting. But the stained glass windows are fun. But I have an updated version of my brewing machine, which I need to stock. I really need to get in here and stock the ingredients. But this will... Once all of the ingredients are in, this will craft every potion in the game. And will craft them until you tell it to stop. You just pick your ingredients, tell it to go, and it'll just spit out potions. So yeah, so that's fun. I just need to... One of these days I'll actually put up the tutorial for this thing. I need to do that. I was working through the redstone. I think I have a solution that will work for bedrock, but I need to test it. Bedrock is funky with how the redstone works. But I also set up this area as a community storage. So, yeah. Again, if we needed shulker boxes or shulker shells were set. But, you know, happy little golems just doing their thing. Okay, but yeah, I've got a plains biome there, so that should be good. All right. Nice. Okay, so since we're out wandering around, I do need to be stopping soon, but do you want to see my main base? Let's figure out where I left it. It's over there. I think I've got enough rockets to get there. Yeah, so let's hop out this way. Yeah, Snooper's built over there a ghast farm, which is fun. So yeah, we'll just hop right on over here. And this is my main base, with what is potentially the safest bridge for anybody who's not trying to cross it. Because mobs can't cross this bridge. Hostile mobs will not pathfind across happy ghasts. And then, even if they could, they couldn't get through the door. That's a creaking powered door. You just look at one of the paintings. Oops. And when you stop looking, it closes. But there's no way a mob could accidentally trigger that. You know, I don't have to worry about shulkers. I don't have to worry about pressure plates or anything like that. But yeah, this is my main base, my main storage room. And then are the worst elevators ever. Yeah, up top here, I built this as an enchanting room, but then it just sort of turned into my bedroom. Which is nice. I like it here. It's cozy. Yeah. Just a nice comfy little place here. Main base is a floating donut of deep slate. Nice. Yeah. And I've got a trading hall. I haven't added the lunge enchantment to my trading hall yet. But yeah, from outside, this is my base. It's large-ish. The top floor is an animal sanctuary and sort of a zoo. Yeah, this is that. So I do have axolotls. I can get in here and breed them if I decided to do that for my other thing. Unfortunately, I think I had frogs. I think they've escaped. I think my turtles have decided they want to just live with the happy ghast over here. You know, your villager city is smaller than that. Yeah, it's fun. I need to get in here. So my little turtle sanctuary. I think I need a separate one for frogs because they just don't stay put. And over here, I need, again, some more decorations and stuff, but I've got some guardians hanging out here. I've got some squid. The naughty list is over here, you know. Got a nice coral nautilus hanging out. And, you know, striders are hanging out here, too. So, you know, lots of fun in the, our happy little area here. Oops. We're gonna walk into the glass. So, yeah, but I was talking earlier about the iron farm. It's, I think it's on this side. Is it on this side? Yeah, it's on this side. So the iron farm, let me turn on the gamma override so you can see. Right, I've got villagers stacked up here. And then I've got a zombie that works its way around. It goes up this bubble vader here. And then eventually comes and gets caught in these cobwebs. And when it sits there, it definitely scares the villagers. But I think it just takes too long as it traverses all of these cobwebs. So while the farm works, also where the heck is that zombie? It's around here somewhere. Oh yeah, there he is. I mean, it works, but because it takes him so long to get through, it really slows down the farm. So I may go back to water or do something else, but it works. He's happy. All right, so that's the quick and dirty impromptu world tour. I've got a couple of other things hanging around here, but yeah, see, I don't know how that. Yeah, I may have to test that. That might be the way to go. Just slow him down, but not too much. Yeah, it might be. The other thing I have over here, this is one thing I was really excited to get this functioning. I have a cobweb or slime ball farm, which is fun. So let me drop down here. I love the way this looks through the water. Just looks cool. But down this way. Sorry, it's a long way down. Okay. Down, where did it go? That's sugar, or bamboo. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, this way. So yeah, so I've got an area here where I just have to load up some potions. And this machine here, depending on which which way I set it will either generate slime or it will generate cobwebs. And it uses a ley and infested potions to get silverfish, and then you slap those with either oozing potion or whatever the cobweb one, the weaving potion, right? And it does the thing. It's really cool. So yeah, right now it's set up for, I think it's set up to go. I just have to remember how to actually start it. Yeah, so right now it'll do slime. So if I hit the start button, yeah, so if it'll splash our happy little lays, they eventually start drowning and generating silverfish, and those guys drop down this way. See, I've got the signs up so I remember how it works. It's just I had to go read the signs. But when this thing goes, I end up getting I don't know, a stack or two of, yeah, see, they're all slimy. What ends up happening, they get oozed, then they wash down this way, and they drop down here, where they eventually get cleaned out by the iron golems. But yeah, this will give me like 2 or 3 stacks of slime blocks in 3 minutes. So that's really handy. And if I flip it the other way, it's the same thing. It just hits them with oozing. And then they all drop down here, where then I can, where they die because of the drop. And then I just have to come down here with shears and just clean out the cobwebs. So yeah, it's a handy little system. And then everything ends up going back up into my base. So that's fun. That took a little while to figure out, but I liked that. That was all sorts of cool. In the meantime, it is about time. That's actually past time. I need to be stopping. Do I have a one mob at a time system for cobweb farming? Nope. It drops, it ends up dropping up 5 or 6 of them at a time. I didn't show it, but I've got a little thing that just slips out long enough so it only pulls in a half dozen of them. And when that happens, then it generates enough cobwebs to clean out the area. And it's not bad. It takes a little while, but could potentially be a little bit more efficient. But it's good enough. It's good enough that I ended up with, a few stacks of cobwebs, which is pretty much more than I need. And we're definitely getting our share of slime blocks, so... That area where they drop is actually a slime chunk. So it's a very, very slow, right, just passive slime farm. But does other good stuff too. So anyway, that's it. We'll call it there. I think we made some good progress. Unfortunately, we're gonna get held up by needing the Chaos Cube dropped, but that's okay. We'll get there. Yeah, good enough. Yes. See, there are times when good enough is good enough, right? Speaking of being good enough, I've got some awesome and amazing supporters over at musicfreegaming.com. If you'd like to become a supporter, Again, musicfreegaming.com. There's a paid plan. It does all the gives you all sorts of behind the scenes access. It's really cool. The next stream is going to be Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So I'll set up a video. YouTube will tell you. It's all that good stuff. So be sure to check that action out. And then Saturday at 7:30 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, I will definitely be back in Terraria, and I'll even get the titles and everything correct. So that'll be fun. And I think we're going to be playing in the scary no-no zone. So that's going to be all sorts of exciting on Saturday. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Until next time, be excellent to each other. And this is Music Free Gaming signing off.